And we are live. Thanks for joining us, folks. Welcome to the Whiskey Cove. We already have quite a few people in already, so thank you so much for joining us. This is, just to make sure you all know that you are in the right place, this is the Whiskey Cove 10,000 subscriber giveaway. We have some fantastic bottles to give away for all those who entered the subscriber only raffle. Now would be an excellent time to make sure you are a subscriber. Just before we carry on, I just want to make sure that I'm being seen correctly and you can hear me correctly. So give me the thumbs up in the chat if all of that is sounding good so far. So we're also going to do 3 sample giveaways for you wonderful people who are here tonight. You don't have to really do anything special for that. You just need to be in the comments, and then we'll do like a round, we'll do like a random pick for that. So the samples that we will be giving away today. So we have 3 different sets. So the first set is going to be like a Booker's sample giveaway. That's going to be a sample of Booker's from 2015-2. Then which it doesn't have a name for whatever reason. I couldn't find the name for that one. And then another sample from 2020-3, the pigskin batch. 2021-2, the tag-along batch, and then the 2024 reserves, which has been my favorite for a very, very long time. So that's going to be the first sample set. Next up, we're going to do a Penelope sample set that is going to contain Penelope Rio from 2023, the first release. We're also going to give away the cigar blend, the batch 1, and then we're also going to do the Havana, that's the rum and maple syrup one, and also the wheated bourbon as well, which has been one of my favorite pours of this year. And then the last giveaway, we're going to do a Jack Daniel's giveaway. It's going to be the barrel proof Tennessee whiskey, the barrel proof rye. We're also going to include a Coy Hill sample in there, Jack Daniel's 12, Jack Daniel's 10, and then Sinatra. No Jack Daniel's 14 because I haven't been able to find one. I probably could have traded for it by now, but for the Jack Daniel's stuff, I kind of like to find it. So I just want to take a little drink here to toast to you wonderful people who are here tonight, but also anybody who's ever watched an episode of the Whiskey Cove, anybody who's ever liked, comment. We've been going for about I think it was 2023, I don't even know which year we started. Time goes that fast. I think it was 3 years, I think, is what we've been on the live, online for. And if 3 years in July. So cheers to you folks. I am drinking some very herbal Welsh whiskey, just to celebrate that. I have a couple of bottles here that I kind of reach for special occasions. And this is an absolute special occasion. Our channel, our community, we're not 100,000 subscribers strong. Kudos to the people who are able to do that. I do have a full-time job. I can only do so much with the channel. But the moment that this channel, this community stops being a hobby and starts becoming work, then I'll kind of lose the love for it. I always kind of want this to be a little bit of a hobby. I've met so many of you wonderful people, whether that's in Kentucky and Colorado, in the comment sections, in these live streams. That connection is awesome. And that's one of the best, my favorite things about whiskeys, making those connections too. Also, I have to let you folks know we are having our first Whiskey Cove barrel pick. That is going to be with Doc Swinson's, and I can tell you a little bit of information about it now. I'll also touch upon it as we go through the live stream. It's going to be about an 8-year high rye bourbon finishing 27-year-old Armagnac cask. So 27-year-old Armagnac barrel is what it's going to be finished on. More information will become available. If you're not already a member of Patreon, it's free to join, and that's the best place to learn a little bit more about this barrel pick. Also, it's going to be in collaboration with my Facebook channel, which my Facebook group, which is going to be called Rocky Mountain Whiskey Society. So if you're on Facebook, if you're someone who's active, definitely go over and join that there. So, well, there'll be some other news that we'll kind of post throughout. But I feel like let's kind of delve into this giveaway, shall we? I think that we should choose a random bottle here just to kick things off with, to kind of wet our whistle here. So I have why I wanted to go through the website was the website that I use as my storefront. It has this really nice tool where I can click a button, things slow down a little bit, and then it exports all the information and names to a spreadsheet, which is really perfect because every single name lines up with a number. And that's all I need to do is enter that number in a random number selector, which you'll see when we pull the numbers. And I'll just correlate it to the spreadsheet. And bingo, I have the name. So there are going to be a couple of small ground rules for this. So some sometimes people like to submit more than one tickets, which that is what it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin the number, spin the wheel. You'll see all of this. And then I'm going to pick the number and I'm going to just double check the spreadsheet for the person that the number is on and see if they've submitted duplicates. If they have submitted duplicates, I'm not going to call their name out. I'm just going to say we're going to have to spin again on this one because, it's a little bit unfair for everybody else if you've kind of done duplicates. If there's like one straight after each other and it's just one, I can maybe understand that a little bit, but I want to try to keep it as fair and equitable as I can. You have to be 21 years old. And then if you do hear your name come up, reach out to me. If not, I'll use the credentials that you left at the end. So with that being said, I want you to give me a little bit of feedback and make sure you are seeing this screen correctly. So we're going to share the screen here and I can show you the database right now. So obviously we have everybody's names there. As you can see, we do have a lot of entries. So thank you so much for submitting those entries. I really appreciate that. Hopefully you can see. As you can see, we can scroll up. I kept the names in and I kept the cities in because I'm sure there's multiple people with different names, with same names. So I just wanted to, you kind of might know who you are then if you're from that city. As you can see, I kind of hid a lot of these in between columns because I didn't want personal information being released. But we have all these numbers and names right here. So with that being said, now that you can see that, I'm going to click over to this random number generator. And we have already got that up. So I want to make sure I share that screen as well here. If I just remove that, we're going to share one more thing here. Bear with me. Boom. Stop screen here. Okay, now you should be able to see the random number generator. We have one between 1887, and we are going to spin the first number. And a bottle, I'm just going to choose at random. We're going to start with a fairly nice bottle here. This is going to be the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. That is the Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. I really like this bottle. I think it's some of Wild Turkey's best stuff in recent times. I think they did a really great job with this. There's never not going to be another 70th anniversary too. So let's spin the wheel and we shall see who has it. Give it a spin. And that number is going to be 188, so one of the earlier people here. So I'm just going to go to 188 on the list here, find out the individual's name. And then I'm just going to check to see if there's only been one submitted. So give me 2 seconds as I navigate this as best as I can. Cool. There is only one submission, so I will tell you now. Congratulations to Mr. Brian Grotham from Soukville. I'm going to share this spreadsheet now so you can also see that number 188 too. As you can see, it's a little bit of a little slow slog. But there you go, 188. Brian Grotham. Congratulations, Brian. You have won this bottle of Wild Turkey 70th anniversary. We will contact you, or you can contact us, whoever gets there first, right? But that is off the board. So I'm just going to go over here. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. So the first bottle is done. We have 5 excellent bottles left. And we also have 3 awesome sample giveaways. I want to hear a little bit of, this works really well, this live stream, always. If I can hear a little bit about who is watching in the chat and where are you from? And again, congratulations to Brian there. What are you drinking? Like I said, I'm drinking some Welsh whiskey. I'm drinking some Penderyn, Legend back there, that bottle behind me in the red sleeve. Welsh whiskey has always been a favorite of mine growing up. I think that it's one of the first whiskeys that I was able to have and it really enjoy just because like a lot of the stone fruits, a lot of the flavor profile that really comes through and the subtle bourbon notes that's there. It's not really until I came to the US. I always kind of liked bourbon, but there wasn't really that many bourbons available in the UK. We had Jim Beam and then, dare I say, I know not technically a bourbon, Jack Daniels too. outside of that, at the time, there wasn't really much. So a lot of good stuff that we were able to find from a Welsh single malt. Now let's go to the chat here. We are seeing California drinking a Jack Daniel's 12 batch 3. I really enjoy Jack Daniel's 12. I think the extra couple of years after 10 of the age statement really shines there. And I think it's a bump up in proof as well, if I'm not mistaken. Colorado Springs. So William Hall does have a question. He says, how do you get into these giveaways? So William, you can just, for the sample giveaway, you can just be here tonight. You don't really have to do anything else apart from when I ask you to put something in the chat, you do it. But apart from that, this previous stuff has been like an ongoing giveaway that we've been doing on the Whiskey Cove for a pretty long time. Yes, like I've been a subscriber only event. We did close that October 1st, just because it gives us a couple of days, make sure everything is all straightened out here. Steve 72 Massachusetts, go Pats, drinking some 1792 foolproof. Yeah, hopefully the Patriots are gonna get a little better here. Back at 500, so go Pats. Jacob from Washington State, what's going on? Daddy's working. And a lot of familiar people. Again, you know, if it's your first time around here, definitely go and check out some of the content we have on the channel. But it's very, very nice to have you here. So, with that being said, I wonder if we have anybody who's the furthest away. So California from Colorado isn't too far. We have Massachusetts and New England area, so that's pretty far. That's probably the furthest that I can see so far. Wisconsin. We also have the San Diegons. Arvada, Colorado. Hey, what's going on, John? Pretty close to my neck of the woods there. Hey, what's going on, Dave? Dave Vogelslang is a pretty common commentator on a lot of the videos and a big supporter of the channel. So thank you so much, Dave, for that. So what I wanted to also talk a little bit about as we kind of bridge some of these giveaways was talking a little bit about, because a lot of questions I've been having in the chats for my videos has all been about what am I thinking of the whiskey industry right now? Where do I believe that the whiskey industry is kind of going? What do I like about it right now? And what maybe I'm not really having too much fun with right now? So let's go and think. So what do I really like about the whiskey industry? Well, I kind of talked a little bit about that already. I think that I really like the connections that you make with people. I really like the fact that you're able to find good whiskey for very, very affordable price points. And also, I really like the journeys that you're able to have on a glass of whiskey, right? There's normally sometimes a story behind it. Maybe there's like a connection that you have. Like I'm a big fan of Welsh whiskey because I'm from Wales, but I'm also a big fan of like Buffalo Trace and Evan Williams and Jack Daniels because there's some ties there to Wales too. Not Buffalo Trace, but Jack Daniels and Evan Williams has some heritage in Wales. But also with Buffalo Trace, a lot of Welsh whiskey is actually finished in Buffalo Trace barrels and Evan Williams barrels, which is super, super, super cool. But that's a lot of the stuff that I do like. Obviously, the whiskey industry is definitely changing. I feel like it's becoming maybe more corporate in a way. It's becoming more of like an experience as opposed to maybe a community. And I think when you lose the aspect of a community, I feel that I feel like that's when the kind of bourbon and the whiskey industry might be lost a little bit. So I definitely think it's really important to kind of keep that sense of community. So with a sense of community, I feel like we need to give back to our community. I think we've done some stuff in the past. So we've done a couple of these giveaways quite a lot. I have a chair. I usually will stand up on a lot of the whiskey videos that I do, but often or not, we're getting up there in age. Need to take a seat from time to time. But I feel that, as I was saying, I digress. We've done like the St. Jude raffle before. And we did a giveaway in our first year to celebrate 5,000 subscribers. When do we think that we might do something else different? I don't know. Maybe we'll try to do something next year. We try to do something once every year. So if there's someone out there that has a really awesome idea or interesting idea, I'd love to hear about that. With that, let's do maybe a sample giveaway for you folks who are in the channel right now. So what I would like for you, how can I do this that makes this the most easiest thing for me? Are you watching? Okay, so I'm going to put my wife to work here. So I'm going to have them put a keyword, and then they're going to write the keyword in the chat. And then you just need to count the amount of people that write the keyword, okay? Good. Okay, what should the keyword be? Let me set up another random generator so we have one off to the side to make sure. We'll go with the OG hay spinner here. So we'll do a different one just so I don't get confused. So I guess the keyword is going to be Whiskey Cove. How about that, right? Celebrate 10,000 subscribers. Put Whiskey Cove in the comment section. And this is going to be a draw for the Bookers giveaway. So this is, again, the 2015-2 Bookers, the 2020-3 Pigskin Bookers, the 2021 Tag-Along Bookers, and the 2024 Reserves Bookers, which, if you haven't tried the Whiskey Cove Reserves, that would be nice if I was running, if I brought out the Bookers Reserves. It's phenomenal. I probably should have done a review on it. I haven't so far, but that's definitely something that I'm thinking about doing. If I can get a hold of the 2015 Bookers Reserve, maybe we'll do like a side-by-side, but the new one, the 2025 one, is finished. From what I was looking at for the whiskeys to look out for video, I was doing some research on it. It's finished in tequila casks, which generally isn't my favorite. I will give you folks till 7:20 to put the Whiskey Cove or Whiskey Cove in the comment section, and then we'll do this giveaway for that samples. But I don't know, there's something about tequila barrel finish whiskey. It's not really my jam. I don't mind it going the other way, like tequila finished in whiskey barrels, right? If you think about the Corazon tequila that's finished in like the Buffalo Trace Antique Collection or El Matili or Weller, I think that stuff pretty good. But that's, you know, you're drinking agave at that point, which is fine. It's a completely different spirit and you get some whiskey characteristics. But going the other way, it's not my favorite. Daryl Knight asks, are you into cigars? So I do enjoy an occasional cigar. I really like to pair them well with whiskeys, and I think I've got that down to good science now. I think the general rule of thumb with pairing cigars is kind of like treat it like food or treat it like you're mixing a cocktail. You know, if you have, and I think I've explained this on the channel before, but if you have like a, say for example, like a cherry flavored whiskey, that generally doesn't go well with cherry Coke because you have like two combating flavors. So you kind of want something to complement the flavor of a cigar or of a whiskey. So say like I have like a darker, bolder, spicier cigar, then maybe I'll reach like Old Forester 1910, Michter's Toasted, something like that that's really sweet, marshmallow forward, that really complements that and helps cut through some of the spicy notes too. I really appreciate all of the love and the congratulations on 10,000 subscribers. That was something when I started the channel, 10,000 was definitely my benchmark. I wanted to definitely get there. Maybe from time to time, I've strayed a little bit on some of the content that I wanted to produce. I think of recent times, you might have noticed we kind of stepped away just a little bit from whiskey reviews, but I want to get back to doing that now that I've hit 10,000 subscribers. This is generally the whiskey reviews don't get as many hits on the videos, and that's not why I'm doing the channel, but I definitely wanted to get to 10,000 subscribers and introduce that back in. So we got that back in, and I've actually filmed 2 whiskey review videos that are coming your way. It's going to be the Maker's Mark Star Hill Farms, and it's going to be the 1792 cognac finish. So expect those 2 to come up here in the near future. Hey, we have a very good, upstanding gentleman of the community, that bourbon dude in the chat. Hey, what's going on, Charles? Thanks for joining us tonight. I wonder where you find yourself today. Somebody mentioned that they love the Sam's and Costco bourbon hunts. Yeah, they're always a fun one to make. Really interesting that I do it with my phone a little covertly, and I plug in a mic, but no one from Costco or Sam's has ever told me that I kind of shouldn't do it. I've kind of just gone about my way. I'm not ignorant of everybody else. I take my time, and I'll stop filming if I need to and continue filming. But, you know, they're fun ones to make. People seem to enjoy watching them, and you know, it would be nice if I'm able to maybe find like a really good unicorn in one of those videos. I think if one of the only install videos that I've done which we've actually found a unicorn or just a good bottle of whiskey, I should say, an allocated bottle of whiskey, was a Discovery 12 batch, and I wouldn't call that necessarily a unicorn, but definitely a good bottle of whiskey that we were able to find. 7:21 now, the lines have officially closed for this Booker's sample drop, as my partner in crime, the better half, is trying to figure out the math on the side end. And then we'll get this next spin going here. 81. Okay, we have 81. And I don't want to do a spin. I'm going to look up something else. And Charles is someone who introduced me to this. And it is the duck race thing. And I very much like the duck race. Let me see if I can get that going. It's very fun. So 81 we're going to do. So 80. Numbers are going to be 81. You don't know. I'm not going to enter all the names in, but we will enter the numbers in because that will take me forever to do the names. So we're just setting that up now. Okay. So I'm going to switch you over and you're going to see this. You're going to see it. You can see this. I love this duck race. It's so stupid. So you should now be able to see the ducks in action, all set up and ready to go. You don't know which number you are, so you have no idea what's going to happen here. And if this doesn't make sense, maybe we'll just do the spin next time. But we will set them off and running here shortly. I guess, how do I set that? I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. We'll just go back to the wheel. The ducks were a good idea, but they are not off. That's for sure. So we're going to, and live TV, anything can happen, right? So we have 81. We're going to just do the traditional spin of the wheel. Number is going to be on the screen coming up here. As I just make sure that I share that screen. So we're going to do the random number wheel. Okay. So that is number 39. 39. So my wife is going to count 39 names down in the chat. She's going to have so much fun doing that. And then we will be able to let you folks know who exactly won that Booker's sample giveaway. There are YouTube bots that will run the race by scanning the chat, so you don't have to type the names. Oh, I need to look into that, Sugar Kitty. That is something that would make my life very easy, because I think when we did the live stream with Charles last time, I should say, spent a lot of time manually typing every single name in, and there was a lot of names. So yeah, not a fan of doing that again. But while my wife is trying to figure that out, let's also do another bottle giveaway, shall we? So let me make sure that we get everything set up so you folks can see. So we are going to share the screen once again. It's going to be the random number generator. So as you can see on the screen, it was 188 from last time. 188. So we are going to spin again. But what bottle should we be spinning for? Let's get this done and dusted. Let's do a classic small batch by Taylor. I mean, you know exactly what you're getting with the H. Taylor small batch. It's a good bottle. It's not an easy bottle to find. I don't know how long I've had this one for. Let's see if I can find a laser code on here somewhere. 2025. It was from this year. So let's spin the wheel. Round and round it goes. Where will it stop? Nobody knows. 967. 967. I have to write this down because I'll forget otherwise. So I need to share my other screen now here. I need to maybe I can just share the browser. So as I'm going through, yeah, let's share the window. I think that will be better for you folks to kind of see. Just so as I'm flicking between each one, then you kind of know. So it's going to be 967, so you can kind of see everything that I'm doing. 967 is going to be Mark Bush from New Brighton. Mark Bush. I like the last name, by the way, from New Brighton. Congratulations, Mark. You have won an E.H. Taylor small batch. Absolutely well done. Do you have the first name? Okay, and we also have, I've just been told, we also have the sample winner as well. And that is going to be Nathan. And I think this might be Polish, but it's going to be Nathan Niezgorski. Nathan Niezgorski. Are you in the chat, Mr. Nathan? just let me know, folks, in the chat if everything's coming through okay. If you need me to maybe explain just a little bit more, I can definitely do that. I think what we'll do is when we share the screen next time, you'll be able to see me navigate between the two tabs just for a little more clarity for you folks at home. But yeah, congratulations to those two winners. Fix is in. But yeah, Nathan, yeah, okay, perfect. Congratulations, Nathan. You are the lucky winner of those 4 Booker samples, and you're going to be very, very pleased with them. And I think I'll do 2-ounce samples for all of these as well, so even better to y'all. So as we kind of continue through some of this other content here, I want you all to kind of let me know down in the description. I'm used to just filming regular videos. I don't really do these live streams all too much, and I definitely need more of this. So I don't really do that many live streams. I think we've done like 4 or 5, and most of those, I would say, they're usually with someone. Very rarely will I do this kind of single. I was thinking about doing the portrait mode, but I just thought, for you wonderful people at home, I think that might be a little weird if you're used to having landscape live streams. But let me know in the comment section if you had to only pick 3 bottles of whiskey for the rest of your life, no limitations, what would they be? In the comment section. And then I'm going to go through a couple and I'm going to rate them A to F, which I think is the best. And of course, the best for me is my own humble opinion. What could be the best for you could look very different, but I'm definitely going to grade them very harshly. Let's have a little look here. So as we go through to the comment section here, we have a lot of people from all around the US, which is real awesome to see. Also on top of that as well, just like going through some of the people submitting tickets, some international, quite a lot of international people as well submit tickets from like Germany, raffle tickets from like Sweden, Canada. Obviously, if you win tonight, we'll have to get together to see what would work best and legal for everybody to do that. But, it was really interesting to see that there's people watching the Whiskey Pool from all around the world. So thanks for joining us. Let's have a look here at some of these 3 bottles. Maker's Mark, Josh Hopkins says, Maker's Mark Cellar Aged, very good bottle of whiskey. Pappy 23. Oh, no, Pappy 15. Oh, okay. Maker's Mark Cellar Aged from the 2023. Yeah, that definitely was the best version. Pappy 15, and then Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. I think you have a pretty good blend there. I think Pappy 15 is probably the best out of all the Pappy Van Winkles. And I think I mentioned this in a video that I've filmed very recently. I don't know if it's posted yet. But I think after about 15 years, 15 to 18 years, whiskey, bourbon specifically, kind of falls off a little bit in flavor. It gets a little bit too heavy, too tannin form. There's too much more that wood. Why like Scotch doesn't have that issue is because bourbon has to use new charred American oak barrels, right? Where Scotch can use reused barrels, so you don't get as much of that kind of tannin punch. So I do like the 15. I do like the Maker's Mark. And I do like the Jack Daniel's. I'm going to give that an A because the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye, even though it's like $60 findable, a great bottle of whiskey. Stag 1924 and Cooper's Craft. I like Stag. Very big fan of Stan Jr. Really big fan of 1924. We did a Old Forester blind. The 1924 reigns supreme. The Cooper's Craft is great value for what it is. You guys are putting up some hitters. I'm going to give that one an A too. Then we've got Nathan. He's got Hancock's Presidential Reserve. Oh, I should say Baker's 13, George T. Stagg, and Hancock's Presidential Reserve. I like Baker's 13. I like George T. Stagg. You lost me at Hancock's. I'm going to give that a C. I'm going to give that a C. I think Baker's is good. It's not great. I have one over my shoulder. George T. Stagg is phenomenal, but you fell off a little bit with the Hancocks, and I think you might have just unsubscribed and left. John Chambers says, Rare Breed, Early Times Bottled in Bond, and Redbreast 12. Redbreast 12 is fantastic. The Redbreast 12 cask strength. Now, if you said that, you would be definitely getting an A. I'm going to give you a B on that one because you didn't say that one specifically. We also have Jack 12. Nathan, again, the winner of the book of samples, said George T. Stagg, Russell Reserve 15, and Elijah Craig C923. So I do really like Elijah Craig C923, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Bourbon. But I blinded it. I blinded up against 3 other Elijah Craigs from, I say, recent times within the last 5 or 6 years. So it was the B520, it was the C919, and then there was the C920. So the B520 was first, the C920 was second, the C923 was third, and then the C919 was fourth. That's very difficult company to be in, but the B520 probably in recent times is definitely been my favorite. Oh yeah, I forgot it. I can do this. It's live. Christian said Woodford Double Oaked, Old Forester 1920, and Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. I mean, we have to give credit to Jack Daniel's for the Single Barrel Proof Rye. They knocked that release completely out of the park. I like the Woodford Reserve Double Oaked. I would probably go for the Old Forester 1910 over that. Based upon that, I'm going to give this a B, and I can because it's my decision. And we'll do a couple more of these. Sweet Cindy, Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye. Pete, you guys know your good whiskey. The Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof series is phenomenal. Disco 12 and Knob Creek 12. Also, Weller 107, Old Fitzgerald, and then Central Standard Cabin Strength. I don't know too much about Central Standard Cabin Strength, and maybe I should. But I know about the other two, and those other two are great, and we're going to give that a B. With that being said, I do want to show you something that I have been working on. So I don't know how much you follow some of the posts that I make on the YouTube channel, but I have recently been collaborating a little bit with Men's Journal. So Men's Journal have a really big footprint in the written press space, and they have recently been getting into other things, notably whiskey. And I'm going to share my screen with you here. And they, I know a couple of people who have, who are familiar with some of the stuff that they're working on over there. And they reached out to me and asked me if I wanted to do a few videos, just for like their channel, and maybe they can post them, and then maybe I can also maybe get some more people watching my channel. So I thought there's something that would work hand in hand quite well. So the stuff that I posted on their channel is kind of almost been like a little bit of unreleased stuff. My commitment to you folks at home is that I will never release something you can't access, whether that's on my channel, whether that's on Patreon. It will be free on Patreon, or whether that's any other avenue. It will always be free to have. So whenever you want to, if you want to go and check out Men's Journal, they have their YouTube channel, and you'll see some of my videos. You'll also see these two people here, the name escapes me, Stuff and Whiskey, I believe it is. They also have some other people working on behind closed doors. But with that, what they're going to be doing is that they're actually going to be creating a whiskey storefront. So you're able to go on to their, go on to their website and order whiskey. So just looking at this video now on the Men's Journal channel, you can scroll down and then you can click Men's Journal Spirits. So this is what this looks like, and this is almost brand new here. They haven't asked me to share this, but I want you folks to know what I've been doing. And as you can see, you can buy a bunch of whiskey here. Just for an example, they have their own like single barrel picks. They have some special offers. Let's have a little look what they have here. Like the Jack Daniel's Single Barrel Proof Rye, the Blanton's Gold, 181. Okay, that's a little much, but it's not out of the question of unreasonable. And then you have some other stuff. This is just stuff that they have on offer right now. Up on the top as well, you can go on over to, let's see here. There is a page, I believe, for yours truly. I don't know where that is. Keep looking here. Video. So if you go and click videos, you can actually find this face over here as well. See, this is where we're at. You can watch the videos there, and they also post the bottles that I talked about in the videos. As you can see, some of them are already sold out and doing, people are enjoying what they're watching, and they're buying the whiskey as well. Some, like I said, some of them are good prices. I think they have like Buffalo Trace on you for $27, which is cheaper than you find in most stores. And again, Stuff and Whiskey here, they have all their stuff there, and so on and so forth. So that's mensjournalspirits.com. You can access them or through the YouTube page. But a really cool collaboration that I've been working on recently. and I've been having a lot of fun with it. And I can't, I'm really interested to see where that's going to go. I think that I'm excited by it, and I would love for you folks to watch some of the videos, comment down below of where you come from, and definitely check out the shop as well. Like I said, there's some highly allocated stuff on there for top dollar prices, but at the same time, you can definitely find some winning stuff. And I think we're going to be doing the Whiskey Cove single barrel pick through a local store here, just because I definitely want to give back to a local store that supported me on my whiskey journey. But outside of that, moving forward, I might put my store picks on that store, so it's really accessible for you folks at home. You can just go onto the store, click it, buy it, and then it's done. Of course, I wouldn't have it on there if it wasn't an affordable and reasonable price, so I'll definitely make sure that happens if that does happen there. Don't forget, folks, definitely give this stream a thumbs up. I would appreciate that. And we are going to do another giveaway. So we have 4 bottles left, and we have 2 sample giveaways. You can't enter the bottle giveaway right now. The lines are closed, but you can definitely be in a chance to win some of the sample giveaways. So before we do that, let's just check out the comment section, see how everybody's doing. Does that, Dominic Campos asked, does that store ship? Yes, they do. They can offer free shipping and also paid shipping. It just kind of depends on how much you spend there and what that looks like. So just have a little play around with it. You might be able to find some really reasonable and good price stuff there too. But yes, they do ship. And they have like really good connections. I've been able to ship just about anywhere. Of course, maybe some of the state-run stores look a little different. State stores look a little differently, but they do have the capacity to ship. Next bottle up, and we are going to do this Smoke Wagon pick. This bad boy there. So this is going to be the Smoke Wagon Private Barrel. This is going to be Warehouse WF5, Whiskey Foxtrot 5. And the barrel is going to be 39-194. And it's going to be bottled for, the name of it, it's a crapshoot. 2024, age 7 years. So I've off a little bit and see if we can you hear me? No, okay. We are experiencing some technical difficulties here. You can't hear me? Okay, like loud and clear. Okay, perfect. Okay, so what I've done is my Rode Wireless microphone. So I had charged two up, and one was like a little, and the music. So one of my Rode Wireless mics was half charged, and I was like, I'll use that for a little bit, and I'll put my new one in. But then, as I was saying, I dropped that on the floor, and it doesn't seem to be turning on. So that's kind of where we are with that. It just means I have to stay stationary to the computer. So the background music is still on. I was thinking about just keeping that on. Is it coming through loud, or is it just hanging on in the background? I'm going to turn it down a little bit more. So I want to create a sense of ambiance. Okay. So we are going to do this Smoke Wagon private barrel giveaway. I don't know how much of this I was able to get through, but I'll just let you know. It's called a crapshoot. It is 7 years old. It is around 57% ABV, around 114, 115 proof, and we are going to give it away. So I'm going to share my screen here. Okay, cool. Here we are. Now you see everything that I do. Is everybody here and ready for this giveaway? I just want to make sure that no one stepped away just for a short period of time. Give them an option to get back. So let's spin this wheel and find out the lucky number for the lucky person who will win for this. 784, 784, and that is going to be Ryan Altmeyer from East Garrison. Ryan Altmeyer, Meyer from East Garrison. So congratulations, Ryan. You have this private barrel smoke wagon for 7 years. That used to be a bottle that used to be very, very, very difficult to find, right? And then I think until maybe in the last year or so, I just remember Smoke Wagon dumping a bunch of barrels with specs in Texas, and ever since then, people haven't really cared for it too much. I probably think that it's gonna maybe go away at some point. I'm not sure how well they're doing, but again, that's just pure speculation. We're just gonna do another bottle, right? And yes, we are keeping the Pappy 10 until the end. That's kind of how this works, right? The John J. Bowman single barrel. So we're going to do this. So 50% ABV, 100 proof, single barrel. So there's going to be some variations between maybe one I have here and the ones you maybe have at home. This is going to be lot 23. So it's from 2023. So it's nearly 6 years old at this point. Well, 3 years old at this point, I should say, in sense of not the whiskey for when this was bottled. I picked this up probably from Arizona, from Phoenix. This seems to be one that always is available in Phoenix for whatever reason. I don't know why. It just perennially sees that. So I picked up a few of these, and they always make a good giveaway. Constantly when I mention it in the channel, people are like, they don't really have it by me. It seems to stick to some of the coasts, like the East Coast or the West Coast seems to be a little easier to find it. So let's give this bad boy away. And this is probably one of the two favorite whiskey that we have for here tonight. So the random number generator will be populated once more, and then we're going to do this share screen for y'all right now. Boom. So let's spin the wheel. And if just in the very small chance that we get duplicate numbers, we'll spin again. 723. That is 723, which isn't too far away from where we were, which is nice. That is going to be Caleb Reyes from Durham. That is Caleb Reyes from Durham. Congratulations, Caleb. You have just, look at this guy. You have just won John J. Bowman single barrel. Congratulations. This is a great bottle of whiskey, and I think you're going to very much enjoy it there. So 4 bottles down, 2 left. I think we need to put my wife to work again. You ready for me? Okay. So we're going to do another keyword. We're going to give you until, let's make it a little easier. We'll give it a minute or two more, and I'll give you the keyword. So I'll give you 3 minutes to answer it, just so all the responses squished a little better for my wife. But what can you win in the sample? So anybody can enter the sample when you put the keyword. So this sample is going to be a Penelope sample. So it's going to be 2 ounces of the following. It's going to be 2 ounces of the Rio 2023 batch 1, the Cigar Session blend batch 1, the Havana batch 1, and then the wheated bourbon batch 1, I guess, as well. So those 4 samples. what you need to do to be in with an opportunity to win that. Again, we'll do the draw separately. We need a keyword. Anybody want to put a yeah, I thought that too, dude. Anybody want to recommend a keyword in the comment section? Let's see what you guys can decide upon here. So basically, I'm rocking whiskey and I'm rocking coffee. It's been a long day of work, so we definitely need this. I think 99,000 should be the keyword. Yeah, I'm feeling. I think I know what Cardiff. Come on now, Gary. Let's be reasonable, okay? So Gary said Cardiff, and I don't know if the relation is because he knows that I'm from Swansea. So in soccer, Cardiff and Swansea are very bitter rivals. So that's a little bit of satire from Gary there. I appreciate that. The Rockies, I mean, they just fired the GM, so that would be. But I think let's just keep it simple. Let's go with the lip service crew. Let's do MGP. You don't have to put a hashtag. If you want to put the hashtag, you can. Hashtag MGP or just MGP. Get those into the comment section, and you could potentially win 8 ounces of some Penelope sweetness there. So not all Penelope is MGP. So talk to me a little bit more about that. Let me see if I can find that. So are we saying that not all Penelope is MGP since they got bought out by MGP? Because I know that Penelope are technically owned by Ross and Squibb, and Ross and Squibb are MGP's in-house brand, so it's technically MGP. But who else do they source from? Maybe before they got bought out, maybe they used to source from different people. But it was my understanding that it was all MGP stuff at this point. And that is a lot of responses for my wife to count in the channel. Good luck with that. Oh, the new founders is supposed to be Heaven Hill. Okay. The 13 is from Kentucky this year. Okay, that makes a little bit more sense then. Indiana and Kentucky. Okay, yeah. I mean, maybe it's from Lux Row, right? Because that's the same stuff as well. So is it definitely from Heaven Hill, or does it just say Kentucky, and that's kind of what's led to believe? Because they're releasing at Heaven Hill now. That's interesting. I don't know too much about that, so thank you for putting that on my radar. I think some of Heaven Hill's older stuff, most of Heaven Hill stuff, I'm a big fan of. I think that Heaven Hill, especially some of the older stuff that they can dig up from time to time, is very, very good and very, very special. I have some stuff over my head here for the old fit stuff. I have the 19, I have the 8-year, and I have the very, very special 13-year. And I also have some Elijah Craig up here. But I really like the Elijah Craig 18. I know it's not everybody's cup of tea, the Elijah Craig 18, but I really like it. But I also do really like aged bourbon. I think I mentioned that a bunch on the channel before. Aged bourbon, the dryness, as long as there's a nice little bit of sweetness that complements that. And I do feel like the 18 definitely has a little bit of sweetness there too. What else is everybody drinking? Sweet Cindy, starting out with 4 Roses small batch. That's a pretty good place to start there. Haven't had a pour in at least 6 months. That's pretty good going. A nice little sip from time to time. It's kind of like an apple a day, right? Keeps the doctor away. Although recent research would maybe suggest not. Gary Palmer, Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye. So Elijah Craig Barrel Proof Rye is coming out now and this month for the first time ever in the A125 capacity. So previously the barrel proof rye has only ever been available in like the single barrel age-dated ones. But this month, and at the distillery recently, it's all like A125, the traditional barrel proof. So it's going to be interesting to see if they bring out 3 of those next year. I like the toasted was pretty good. I like the small batch rye, so the Elijah Craig barrel proof rye is pretty good too. John Schenk said, I've got John J. Bowman in the glass right now. Yeah. Can't go wrong with John J. Bowman. And for anybody who... do we have a number? 84? Okay, we have 84. So 3 more people than last time. Which is good because it's under 100, which means I can use the Wheel of Doom to be able to utilize that. So, let's share the screen. We only need to do this one this time. So it's going to be here, 1 to 84. Again, this is going to be for the Penelope foursome. So let's spin the wheel. announce that winner here very shortly. Number 35. So my wife's going to count, and then she'll see which one is which. Is John J. Bowman the best of the Bowman brother bottles? I saw the port finish one at a store recently. So I do like the port finish one. You don't see a whole lot of port finish bourbons. So it's refreshing to see that. And it tastes nice, and it's good bottle of whiskey. And for the price of what is like $35 or so, I think that I think that it's a great and aggressive bottle. The small batch is good. I think that's comparable to like a Buffalo Trace. I haven't had the cask strength one. I need to just pull the trigger and buy one for like $250, $300. Like if I'm willing to pay $300 for Russell Reserve 15, I should be willing to pay a little more for the Bowman cask strength. But I hear it's very, very good. But yeah, the cask strength, I think they had a hazmat one. And the cask strengths are always like real close to hazmat. And there was a good age statement on it too. So probably Bowman cask strength is where it's at. But again, I'm not particularly that qualified because I haven't tried it. So utilize that information as you would like. But yes, cask strength is very hard to find. Although last year I saw a lot of people posting, or this year, beginning of this year, or whenever it was released, that they were seeing it in grocery stores, Safeways, and stuff like that. So we might see it become more available across the nation. I think that obviously Buffalo Trace's wine mash bill that they have, and then they also take it back then and they redistill it and then age it there. But it's very, very, very good. I appreciate that, Josh. Maybe I'll have to take the track out down there, dude. That's very, very good. The Whiskey Dick. Hey, Mr. Dick. Greetings of good people. I'm sorry I'm late. I'm not good enough, dude. You missed all the fun. No, we have plenty more to go. We're just about to finish up with the second sample Penelope giveaway. We have 2 bottles left to give away. And then we have big Jack Daniels 6 sample giveaway. And that'll be a good one here too. So, future of the Whiskey Co. Future channels, future vibe of the channel. We talked a little bit about in the beginning that I wanted to do maybe more whiskey reviews. We'll continue to do the whiskeys to look out for, monthly installments. If that's something you folks like, I always like to hear feedback on that because it's something we've always done since like the first or second month of the channel, and it's been a pretty successful video, and I want to make sure that I want to do stuff you like. So if it gets a little bit repetitive, let me know. But because it's like new bottles every month, I think it keeps it really nice and fresh. But again, definitely want to do more of the reviews, more maybe blind battles, that sort of stuff, and then continuing to do the in-store stuff too. Do you have a name? So we do have a name for the Penelope winner. Okay. It's going to be this. The winner is going to be DPD 2K10. DPD Delta Papa Delta 2K10. If you are here, dude, you won the Penelope sample giveaway. Again, that is Delta Papa Delta DPD 2K10. Message me at the Whiskey Cove at gmail.com. And anybody who wins a sample tonight, I don't know how your information, so message me at the Whiskey Cove at gmail.com. The Whiskey, I'm going to post it so y'all know. Okay, send me an email. So then we're able to make sure it gets to the right person. We'll do a name verification through your subscription portal, and then we'll make sure we'll get to the right person. As long as you're 21 years or older, we should be rocking and rolling. We did have a question here. The $200 whiskey challenge was great too. Yeah, I had some good fun with that. I think I'll definitely revisit that. Maybe we might have to kind of expand a little bit to 300 in today's market. But yeah, let me make a note of that because I haven't done that video for a while and I really like it. I think the last one we did was in Argonauts in Denver. That's Denver's biggest liquor store. And They have some great bottles as well, and I really like the format, and I've used it quite a lot, like the kind of 5 bottle Reddit challenge. But I think that like format of those different bottles, like Friday, really encapsulates a whiskey lover's collection, right? You have all this fun stuff, but at the end of the day, you probably only need 5 bottles, and that's why I like that challenge too. Yeah, I guess there's a little bit of metric to that, Derek, right, as well. You should check out Total Beverage in Westminster. Yeah, very familiar with that store. It's the store that I've been in quite a lot in the bunch, quite a lot. So maybe I think the next one we'll probably do will be at Total Wine, $200 whiskey challenge. Because I haven't done one at Total Wine. Because I also wanted to do another video there, like a short that says, I let with a Total Wine employee pick me a bottle of whiskey, and here's what they turned out to be. Like an undercover one. Maybe I'll have like the Ray-Bans with the camera on, like a microphone tucked in here. I think that would be a fun one too. Y'all, that accent. Yeah, well, I'm slowly becoming Americanized. I've been here for about 15 years now, and sometimes, when I have a few too many of these, I let my southern draw slide a little bit. Hey, what's going on, Henry? Henry is a big supporter of the channel. Nice to see you in here tonight, Henry. We have another question here. What is the best, to me, bottle I have found in the discount bin and bought? So I bought, when I was out in Utah, at one of the state stores, they had a bottle of whiskey, and I did a review on it on the channel. I'm like in a hotel somewhere, trashing out. And it was, I can't remember the name of the whiskey. It escapes me now, but it was like sourced from North Carolina. It was like $20. It was a distillery that was in Salt Lake City. But they sourced it from North Carolina. It was really good stuff. It was very, very similar to like Old Forester. But awesome, like really, really nice tasting bananas, cherry, really well put together, balanced out, good mouthfeel too. But something I can think about off the top of my head that I have to put a name to in the discount. There was this Tommy Knocker one that was finished in Cabernet. It was an MGP juice finished in Cabernet Sauvignon barrels, and it was $20 at Daveco in Thornton. That was a hoot, and for $20, that was pretty wild. Someone posted a video idea here. Let me have a look what it says. Maybe you can do a $200 whiskey challenge focused on non-Kentucky whiskey. It would focus on some smaller distilleries that also make wonderful juice. Thank you so much for that recommendation. Yeah, I'm pretty open to just about any recommendations now that are not just because now we kind of got over the hurdle of the 10,000 subscribers that I kind of wanted to do. Hey, Sam, what's going on? My dude, Sam is also a big supporter of the channel. Nice to see you here today, my man. Patrick needs to start a second channel where he reads books or something. Maybe read Paula Dean's cookbook. I'm not too familiar with Paula Dean. Maybe that could be sacrilege around in these parts. But yeah, not too bad. Thomas More Chardonnay finished, $27.99. So I saw some Thomas More Chardonnay, and I think it was some of the, like maybe the Madeira, in a store in Phoenix, actually. And this store was wild. It was a liquor store, but it was almost like a discount liquor store. And they had like bunches of like whiskey that you would see gathering dust in other stores, but it was marked down to like real bottom dollar. And that was one of the bottles. But because I was flying, I was like, I'm not going to buy a $28 bottle of Thomas More just so I can fly home with it when I prefer to buy something else. But yeah, absolutely right that it is Barton juice. It's probably similar to the 1792 cognac, right? Probably very similar way that they finish it, because it's all the same stuff here. We will do another bottle here shortly. That opinion of Redwood. I love Redwood. We've got a lot of time for Redwood. I haven't talked about them that much on the channel of recent times. The Screaming Titan was very nice. I like the 100 Proof series, the Bonded series. That's all really good stuff too. I know that the Screaming Titan was like a blend of some of their own distilled stuff and some stuff from like Indiana and somewhere else. But it was also really, really, really good. But yeah, I'm a big fan of Redwood Empire. Congrats on 10K, really. Like your bottles, to look out for the month of videos. Thanks for informing the community. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. That's what I like to hear. I like that. You should do a state by state series, ranking the best whiskeys from each state. That could be a good one. That could be a good one indeed. Suggestion, blinds with friends. That could also be a very good one too. I need people to help me drink some of this whiskey that I have behind me here. Okay, so let's talk next bottle. So we have 2 bottles left. So let's do the penultimate bottle. This is a bottle of whiskey that was turned on to me by Charles, that bourbon dude. If you don't know who that is, he has his own platform on YouTube. Definitely go and check him out. So this is not obtainable yet in the US. I think that they plan to release it. This is the Wild Turkey Rare Breed non-chill filtered. It is a 1 liter bottle. And it is coming in, I think it's the same proof as regular Rare Breed, 58.4 or 116.8, non-chill filtered, barrel proof. So this is very, very good stuff. I did a blind with Charles in Louisville, and we blinded this, Russell's 15, Russell's 13, and then 2 of the Camp Nelsons, the different ones. And this came in second, very close to being first, actually. But what I'm saying is it's a phenomenal bottle. If you know, for those who know just how good these are very good indeed. Dominic was saying I got a couple of those bottles from the duty free. Yeah, I hear that's where you're going to find them, on the border of Canada. But yeah, very, very good. Is Charles the guy who made fun of the bourbon junkies? Probably. I think if he's still here in the comment section, maybe he can answer that question. But I know he does a lot of reaction videos. Mostly the ones that I've seen him do, all in good faith. But I don't want to answer for him. Yeah, Faust, what's going on, my man? This is one of my most desired bottles. Yeah, it's a phenomenal bottle of whiskey. Probably, I said earlier on that the John J. Bowman is one of 2 of my favorite bottles tonight that will be given away. I think this is one. John J. Bowman coming in quite close to second here. So, I think it's time to spin the wheel. Let's get this screen sharing here. Okay, now you should be able to see said screen. And we have the number generator. I have my phone just here to make sure you're seeing everything that you should be seeing. Can you see this wheel? Okay, perfect. Let's spin that wheel. As you can see, a lot of entries. But, you have to be in it to win it. Winner is going to be 57. 57. That is a very early one. So it just goes to show that it doesn't matter where. Joseph Eccles. Mr. Joseph Eccles from Bermuda Dunes. That sounds like a nice place. I don't know where that is, but I'm going to take a stab and say it's somewhere along the East Coast, maybe Florida there. So, Mr. Joseph Eccles, congratulations. You are the winner of this Wild Turkey 1 liter. So, 1 liter. Are you taking down? Okay, just double checking with my wife. She's taking down all the names. So now I have to go back and watch the live stream again and pick out all the names too. So, absolutely congratulations to Mr. Joseph Eccles there. You will not be disappointed with that bottle of whiskey. So we have 2 giveaways left. One is going to be the Jack Daniel's 6 sample giveaway. And then the one is going to be this bad boy. The old Rip Van Winkle, aged 10 years. This is a wheated bourbon, Buffalo Trace's wheated mash bill. Coming in at a tender 53.5% ABV or 107 proof. So I got this bottle last year in a lottery. And I don't want to sound entitled, but it's not necessarily the bottle of whiskey that I was hoping or trying to get. So I thought, just because I was a little bit sad about getting a bottle that I've had before and have, why don't I spread the love? Which is the reason why we really wanted to do this 10,000 giveaway, is to give back to you wonderful people, so I can share this with you folks and give you the opportunity to be able to win that. But what we'll do is we'll maybe do the sample giveaway first, and then we'll finish up with that bad boy there. Definitely, folks, for me, do me a favor, like the stream. Make sure you're a subscriber too, because you definitely want to be when we do this last giveaway. Also, as well, get your questions in the comment section. If there's anything that you're watching the Whiskey Cove, you're watching some of my videos, and you're thinking, I would really like to know the question of this. Some people ask what I think of the whiskey industry, where I'm from, sports teams, why I wear Hawaiian shirts, why do I speak funny, all of that sort of stuff. So definitely get your comments down there in the section. And then let's see what everybody else is drinking here. Kevin is drinking. It seems to be a lot of people drinking Sagamore 10 year tonight. And I think that I'm missing out a little bit. I mean, if I knew that everybody else was going to be drinking so much Sagamore, I would definitely started with that. I think I might sneeze. But I don't know if we've sold the Sagamore 10 year come yet. I think that I'm hoping I'm going to go do a little bit of hunting this weekend, and I'm going to see if I can find it. So let's answer some of these questions here. What is my day job? Can't really go into too much detail with that, but I love my day job. It allows me to do hobbies like this. I'm also a full-time father as well on top of that, and a full-time husband, as my wife is a full-time wife too. She's laughing in the background. But I can't go into too much detail with that, but I do love my job, and I work with people, and I like doing that too. Do you have an EPL team? So what Sam Williamson means with do I have an EPL team is do I have like a British soccer team? And I do. My favorite team has been since I was about 3 years old is West Ham United. Not doing so well this year. We're on our fourth manager in like 2 years, so we need to get back to some sort of consistency with them. But the only way is up, right? We have Weller Glass in the 12 tonight. He has Mr. Del Fuego as well, a 12 in the glass tonight. Also, as well, Josh is sipping some Larrikin single barrel. John Schenk, do you watch the NFL? Yes, I do. I'm a very big NFL fan, as I'm equally soccer fan. So I started supporting my NFL team when I was in the UK. In football and soccer, original real football. We have team names named after cities. So like supporting like the Ravens, supporting the Bengals or the Broncos didn't really make too much sense for me. So what did make sense was New England. It was a name I'm familiar with. So that's the team I started supporting in 2000 when they started playing NFL on Channel 5 in the UK. And it was on at like 1 o'clock in the morning, like midnight. And I'd stay up late and I'd be tired for school the next day. So yeah, New England Patriots is my team, and I'm a diehard fan. I got to watch them every year. John Chambers, is your whiskey in the background your favorite whiskey? I don't switch. I feel like I switch it out, but I don't. I kind of keep it a lot the same. So the Penderyn is obviously Welsh whiskey, and it's a distillery not so far away from where I used to live in Wales. So that's why that's front and center. We have High West over there. Big fan of High West, although recent times, yeah. And then over here, we have some good stuff. So it really just started like this was the whiskey that I had. I kind of built it up. And every now and again, I'll just pull a bottle down, switch it out. We got some Doc Swinsons up here. I'm really into Doc Swinsons right now, as you can tell, because that's the single barrel pick that we'll be doing. Also, let's talk about that quickly. We're doing our first single barrel pick through Doc Swinsons. It's going to be like a 6-year high rye bourbon, finished for an additional 2 years, around 8 years old, in a like 27-year-old Armagnac cask. So this is going to be, so I think it really tastes like figgy pudding, like Christmas cake. So it's going to have that style vibe to it. I'm going to double wax it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be available hopefully it's gonna be enough to go around. It's gonna probably sell out pretty fast. So if you want to begin with an opportunity to get it, join Patreon. You don't have to pay. It would be nice, but you don't have to pay. It's free to join, and then all the information will be updated. I might drop some information in the channel as well, but it's also going to be split with my Facebook group, the Rocky Mountain Whiskey Society group. That's also my group too. So we'll be selling some stuff local too, and we'll be through a liquor store here. Everything will be above board, but definitely be a part of the Patreon. Maybe I'll do a push email that I'll send out as well. Maybe we'll do like a drop at a certain date and time, so it gives you an opportunity to maybe buy some. That might not be so everybody won't be able to get a bottle, but then if there's a really good showing and if the bottle goes fast, if the single barrel goes fast and people really like it, then I will absolutely explore doing more in the future there too. See what else we got here. Chelsea fan drinking ASW, Fiddler Encore. Yeah, not a big fan of Chelsea. That's another football rivalry, a soccer rivalry there. Does my wife drink whiskey, and what does she think about your hobby? Yes, she doesn't really drink whiskey. However, she does enjoy cocktails. She does enjoy speakeasies and stuff. So she's not completely alienated by the idea. And really, the Whiskey Cove kind of started by me having a lot of downtime at home because, we started our family. So it gives me the availability to kind of work on my hobby from home. So I don't really have to go out and around and kind of in the house. Apart from when I go whiskey hunting in like 100 stores at a time. Maybe then I'm not available that much of the time, but it's all about balance, right? When did I start drinking whiskey? And what was my first purchase? Excellent question. So my first purchase of whiskey was Jim Beam White Label. Big fan of Jim Beam White Label growing up. As I mentioned earlier on, there's only really two American whiskeys. There was Jim Beam and Jack Daniels. Didn't like Jack Daniels, loved Jim Beam. I really liked how Jim Beam had more oak presence. And then I came to the US, and then someone handed me, like, I was drinking Jim Beam, and like, oh no, you don't want to drink that, drink this. And they handed me Buffalo Trace, and that kind of just expanded my world when it comes to bourbon. I absolutely enjoyed it so much. Astro, my favorite whiskey influencer. Well, that is very nice of you to say. And on that note, we will do another sample giveaway. Thank you, Astro, for that segue. So this sample giveaway is going to be available to everybody in the comments section right now. You will just need to put a keyword in as and when. So the sample is going to consist of 2 ounces of each of these. Jack Daniels Barrel Proof, Jack Daniels Barrel Proof Rye, Jack Daniels Coy Hill, which, by the way, Jack Daniels Coy Hill, phenomenal. So good. Jack Daniels 10, Jack Daniels 12, and then the Sinatra Select, the big old tall bottle back there. So this really is an awesome sample giveaway. I think y'all enjoy it. So what shall we do for the keyword? So we're going to wait a little bit just because I want the cutoff to be 8 to 20 to make it a little easier for us on this end. So we'll answer a couple more questions here. Do I watch other whiskey channels? So I'll be honest, around COVID, I used to watch so much. Now with the editing, with the channel, with some other stuff going on, collaborative Men's Journal, my full-time job is ramping up and have aspirations there too. I kind of haven't. And it's not that I don't want to. It's just, you have to kind of prioritize, right? But I used to watch Bourbon Junkies a lot, SLB, of course, David from Whiskey Row. Who else here? Charles's channel, that bourbon dude. Thrifty Whiskey. I used to watch those guys religiously. It was 3 guys. They had a really good premise. They stopped recording videos. I think they got to like 1,000 subscribers and they didn't carry on. But it was a really fun premise. And basically there was a bottle of whiskey that was wrapped up in a bag, and his wife would pour these 3 people through a glass of whiskey, and they'd have to try and pick out flavor profiles, pick out notes, and then take some guesses. Really fun. And then they would all guess and try to find like the style and whatnot. And at the end, they reveal the bottle after rating and whatnot. And that was so much fun. And I even reached out on Instagram to the guy who had the video, the channel. I said, your channel was really, really, really fun. I watched it religiously all the time. Is it Thrifty Whiskey is what it was called. I want to actually see if they have actually started putting more content out. Let me see here, so I can show you exactly as we're buying a little bit of time here. Let me Thrifty Whiskey. Oh, 2.5 subscribers now. Well, let me share my screen here so you can see. So these are the guys. So I guess people still continue to watch them. Has he put out any new content here recently? So yeah, 2 years ago. So I stopped watching them around 2 years ago when they last put their video out, and they had like 1,000 subscribers. So I know there was stuff going on in the back end. I know he has started his family. Josh, this is the main guy here on the left here with the Green River ball on the far left. But it looks like the channel's continued to do well, and people kind of enjoyed the format. But like, yeah, this was a channel I used to watch all the time. The videos weren't too long. It was all like 6, 7 minutes. So just like a really, really fun watch. Yeah, it's a shame they stopped, but it is what it is. So, there's not too much you can do about it. Joe Unfiltered is right now in Denver. Yeah, I think there's Colorado has quite a few whiskey tubers. You have Matt right over in Grand Junction. You have Dara down in Denver as well. So yeah, we have a couple of good people here. Answer this question here from Christopher Mulvaney. Patrick, have you been affected by some of these other whiskey creators who run into issues with YouTube? A lot of other creators have stopped doing some of the shows related to alcohol and other things. So that's really interesting. No, would be my question. The only really slap on the wrist I've ever had from YouTube was just some copyrighted song that I had on Once Upon a Time. But I've never had any issues with YouTube. YouTube have been pretty good to me. So I kind of can't complain on anything that they did with that. But I haven't heard any of the issues. So definitely comment again, Christopher, for some of the stuff that's been going on. Again, a lot of the time when I'm not doing videos, I'm not editing or whatnot, I'm really just doing other things. So I haven't really had much time to kind of tune myself in. I'm probably the most unplugged whiskey tuber out there, but I do focus on my content, and I do a lot of research for my content too. Let's see. But yeah, ADHD whiskey. Yeah, that's exactly who I was talking about, Matt there. But yeah, a lot of good people in the whiskey tubers. I had an ability to go to Kentucky and do a Heaven Hill cigar event, and Sean was there from Bourbon Junkies. Mash and Drum was there. Bourbon Kingdom was there. Dara was there. It was a really good night. It was a good big event. There was other people there too, and at the end, then we kind of all went off to a separate room with some of the folks from Heaven Hill, and we just kind of spent time talking, hanging out, took some pictures. It was really nice to connect with those people. I want to see everybody do well in the whiskey verse on YouTube. So actually, full of love for all those people. Some channels I used to follow have to change their names and do other things related to content that they were showing interest in. I know that some people have kind of, I don't know if that's necessarily to do with YouTube. Maybe I'm wrong. This is going to be my take on this, Christopher. This has been something I've noticed, is that some people maybe change their names on YouTube. Some people have started doing, who have whiskey channels, have started doing non-whiskey content. And I really think that's probably got something to do with, during COVID, they were, consuming alcohol, blah, blah. Maybe they felt that their life was changing and they wanted to make some lifestyle changes, but they liked doing social media content. So they wanted to maybe do other content that didn't have anything maybe to do with specifically with drinking, would be my assumption. Like, again, I don't really want to speak for other people. But that's maybe my assumption looking from the outside in. People just maybe want to diversify and do something a little different. And maybe that's something that I could look to do in the future, whether that would be on this platform or just like a separate YouTube channel. But again, just time just isn't available to me to do that right now. Okay. So we are going to do a code name or a magic word, whatever it is that you like to call it, for this Jack Daniel's barrel proof ride. Coy Hill, Jack Daniel's 10, Jack Daniel's 12, Sinatra sample select. So that is going to be 10K. 10K in the chat. 10K just like that. 10K is to celebrate all you 10,000 wonderful people watching at home. Again, I can't say enough from the bottom of my heart. It makes putting all the effort and time in for me, kind of worth it. And it probably gives me a little bit of substance when trying to explain to my wife why we have to spend $100 on another bottle of whiskey when I already have a few. So I really, really, really appreciate it, folks. Thank you so much. Definitely join Patreon for free. So you're able to learn more about the single barrel that we'll be doing as well. Because that also, even though you're getting a bottle of whiskey in return, a very good bottle of whiskey in return, it makes me feel good about myself that I'm able to put out a whiskey single barrel that people really like. So that will be very warming. So definitely stay in tune with that too. We have 140 people watching here tonight. Again, that's super awesome too. And if there's any other questions, continue to ask questions, and I'll try to pick them up in the channel as and when, so we're able to answer them. Jean Chambers, your favorite guilt for whiskey pour, where price and finding a replacement isn't a concern. Mine is Early Times Bottled and Bond, even though it was a unicorn for a few months. So I'm kind of hanging on to one of my bottles, and this back here. So I say a lot of the time on the channel that I am fortunate enough to have good whiskey bottles, but I've never had the capacity to go into a whiskey store and someone, even my local stores, and someone to be there and be like, "Oh, Patrick, whiskey go coming in. Here's a bottle of whiskey. I've been keeping this for you. This is super allocated bottle. You get this." So I've always worked my tail off. You can just, like, I think I did a video where I stopped at 50 whiskey stores from here to Kentucky and I found nothing. So I always had to work really hard for my bottles of whiskey, whether that's, hustling, putting loads of lottery tickets in, trade in, that sort of stuff. Not really selling, but just trade in bottles of whiskeys. I think there's a time and space for that. But the William Ruella, that was always the top of my hunting list when I got more into whiskey and kind of more into the finer stuff in life. And that's a bottle that I reach for time and time again. I've also done a video on the channel that I talk a little bit about bottles that I have here that are special to me for one reason or another. So all the bottles on that list are definitely ones that I savor. What bourbon? This is Jeff Decamper. Hey Jeff, what's going on, my man? What bourbon would drop the most on people's lists if allocations went away? That is a great question. That is a very, very good question. Actually, I like that a lot. What bourbon would drop the most on people's list? I mean, you could take maybe some of the low-hanging fruit here and say maybe some of the Wellers. Although I do like Wellers, maybe like Weller single barrel and CYPB. I don't know. I don't think they're very good. I think the full proof, the 12 and the OWA are much better. Maybe Pappy Van Winkle 12. I think that a good bottle of like a OWA single barrel pick knocks Pappy 12 out of the park. It's good. It's a great bottle of whiskey. But if in terms of you're talking like allocated stuff, yeah. Maybe Sazerac 18 you can probably throw in there too. 45 ABV 90 proof whiskey. It leaves a little bit to be desired there. But really great question, by the way. What else? I think Stag would be pretty high still. I think Stag is an excellent bottle of whiskey. So that would still be at the top of my list. Yeah, I'm looking around maybe some of maybe maybe some of the Wild Turkey Masters Keep stuff. What is that up to? Like $350 right now. I think now that's I've seen that stick on shelves quite a lot lately. I think I've seen some like not sell for a long period of time now. That's like $300. Eagle Rare, double Eagle Rare, yeah. You know, like the Well and Millennial. Like, what a shame. Like, Buffalo Trace had like the perfect pricing structure for far too long, in the very best way. And I don't know if they just felt the squeeze a little bit, but then they started coming out with these ridiculously priced bottles. I think recently, a couple of days ago, they dropped some of like the old pint-sized bottles at the distillery, and they were like $200 for like a pint. That's not what they used to be like. I guess you could say that about any distillery, right? But Buffalo Trace for a long time, like really supported their customers, but not so much recently. But all good things must come to an end, and we're still counting the numbers here. It is 8:26, so we are going to close it now. Have you started counting?
I lost track of the 167.
She lost track, so she's going to start counting again, okay? I mean, this is the last time, so, you know, this is good. This is good. Okay. So, yeah, we're going to still count up those numbers, and we'll get that spinner going there, and then we'll get those samples picked out here. Let's go and hit up a couple more. So, Willett Purple Top 10 year. So, those bottles that would drop pretty drastically if they weren't allocated. Man, those Willett Purple Tops are definitely getting up there in price. What is like a 10-year run at right now? Is it like high 300s, $400? I think I bought a 12-year not so long ago, and it was $400. That was very, very, very expensive. But I have a 9-year Purple Top, and that's very good. I will say that. I think I paid like $280 for it, but very, very good, and actually money well spent, if I don't say so. Great. Would honestly love to see things on the shelf at MSRP. Anything that seems to be secondary. Yeah, I totally agree with that. I think that I think we're getting there. And I've always talked a little bit about recently. This is kind of like the storm, but we'll see the calm after it. Like we have for us to get back to some sense of normality. Someone who's been drinking bourbon for, you know, we're looking at like 10, 15 years at this point. It'd be nice to see stuff settle back down, but I think we might be past that for a few years, and things are going to get worse before they get better. So we shall see about that. Stymie, that is a great question. Stymie said, golf fan question mark, were you split on the Ryder Cup or celebrating the victory? I was definitely celebrating the victory. I think it was the best Ryder Cup I've seen in a long time. I think the Americans did very well to come back in the last day and make a game of it. But also it kind of looked like the Europeans already started celebrating the night before and just came out a little bit flat. But like I said, they made a good game of it. But it was a hell of a tournament. I'd love to. That's something that's on my bucket list to go to a Ryder Cup because it looks quite the hoot. Dropping from the allocated hasn't hurt bookers. Yeah, I mean, you can. I think I walked in Jim Beam in January, and they had like a bunch of bookers, little book on the shelf there. So I don't know if you mean in the sense that hurt is in like the flavor profile, the tasting, or how good it is, or just that people are still buying it. What is it? Bookers coming in like $100, $110 still, and I think then the reserves is like 130 to 150. So it's definitely getting up there still in price. Interesting tunes. There's someone asked that question earlier on. I'm a big fan of Red One Empire. I like this stuff quite a lot too. What's my favorite Colorado casino to play poker? So I don't really play poker necessarily at a casino. Again, just takes a lot of time. But there's nothing that I can really do about in terms of timing to be able to spend a lot of time in the casino. But sometimes I'll have like a poker night, so that will still be fun. So we have 102 people. So 102 is what we have. So let's see. We're going to have to come up with another random number generator because the one we have only goes up to 100. So we need to max this one out to 1 to 102. So that we are going to share the screen here for you folks. Okay. So we have 102 people. Get out of here, you ad. Like, oh my fucking. There we go. That's what happens. So we have 1 to 102. This is for the Jack Daniels. The Jack Daniels sample release. So let's spin the wheel. Number 65. That is going to be number 65. My wonderful wife is going to make the calculations and come up with a winner there as we finish with that sample giveaway. That was the final sample giveaway of this evening. However, we still have the old Rip Van Winkle bottle left to give. Start racing ducks and we'll get flooded by Jeep Wrangler. So I really want to do the duck race, but it doesn't really make sense if we can't have names, because it's really funny to see people's names of like horses and see them and the ducks fall down. Ever had the Blue Note Special Reserves? So the Blue Note Specials, is that like the whiskey, the Blue Notes that are finished on like multiple different barrels? I think I saw one on the internet and it was like this whiskey that was finished on like 6 different barrels, like a slew of different barrels. Maybe it was just some of the stuff that they had there, they blended it all together like some sort of Solera method. But no, I haven't. The only other one that I had is the Blue Note 17 that I have behind me. I've also tried some of them. The Blue Note 17 is definitely better, 50% if you're 100 proof or above. I think when it gets below that, it gets a little minerally because I think it is Dickel stuff, right? Do we have a winner? We have. I believe we have a winner for the. I can't see it. You have to bring it closer. Sorry. So the winner is for the Jack Daniel sample giveaway, Chris Berger. Chris, congratulations. I think I've seen you in the channel quite a few times tonight, so congratulations on that. Chris Berger, email thewhiskeycove@gmail.com. We'll confirm your identity. We'll make sure you are of age, and then we shall get that sample giveaway over to you. And that is done. The samples are done. The samples are done. So we have just this bottle left to give away. We'll just answer a couple more questions before that, and then we'll delve into that. So any local bars that have a good selection to try some pours before buying a bottle. So yeah, if we're talking Colorado, there is the Schoolhouse in Arvada that has hundreds and hundreds of whiskey bottles. The Bull and Bush in Denver is pretty good there too. Burns Pub in Broomfield is also very, very good too. And of course, if your friends have it, that's always better because it doesn't cost you a single penny there. But yeah, congratulations, Chris, on that Jack Daniel's sample giveaway. That is 2 ounces each. Favorite distillery of bourbon? That is a great question. And, whiskey is kind of like, this is going to be my second whiskey food analogy of the night, is kind of like food in the sense that this year, or right now, maybe I like chicken on jalapeno pizza. But maybe next year, I might prefer something else. Maybe I want like a double pepperoni pizza. So sometimes I like distilleries a lot, and then sometimes I like another distillery just a little bit more. A different year, but right now, Doc Swinson, Still Austin, and are probably a Maker's Mark are probably 3 that I can think of right now that I'm like. It's pretty hard to beat them in terms of how much I like them. Obviously, Buffalo Trace is there too, because there's no taking away how much I like Weller and Stag. Also, on top of that, I love Jim Beam, High West, although, again, recent times they need to pull their weight a little bit more. New Riff are pretty good too. Bowman, also very good. Elijah Craig, Heaven Hill, I should say, very good. Old Forester, but I don't see myself really pushing or really enjoying bigger distilleries as much as I used to. I much prefer distilleries of the size of like High West, Doc Swinson, Still Austin. the stuff that Still Austin are doing right now, some phenomenal stuff. I'm actually going to be down in Still Austin towards the end of October. I haven't quite figured out when that's going to be just yet. Again, if you're on Facebook, I actually have a Still Austin group as well. It's called Still Austin Whiskey Fans, Still Austin Whiskey Community. I don't know what it's called. I should probably know that. Let me just double check. I think it's Still Austin Whiskey Community. So that's my group, and we're going to be doing a meetup at Still Austin Whiskey Community, and we're going to do a meetup at the distillery towards the end of October. So if there's someone in the Austin area, definitely join that whiskey group, and then you can meet up with us down in the Still Austin Whiskey Distillery. The whiskey in Fort Collins is just about anything you could ask for. Has Old Elk closed down up there yet? Because I know they just got bought out, but I don't know if they closed. I have the Still Austin bottled in bond rye. Yeah, I like the Still Austin bottled in bond rye. That's a good one. I think they use like a very specific grain for that's only available to them, kind of like around that area. If you come to Dallas, Texas, come see us at the Whiskey Blendery. I appreciate the invitation. I might have to. Yes, I have. I forgot about those guys, but I definitely will go and see the Whiskey Tribe down there. I've been there before during the day, and it was really nice vibe there. I think that we just went up, a couple of glasses of whiskey, hang out on the deck. It was awesome weather. Really nice distillery. It would be nice to see how they've been doing, because that has been like 3 years since I've been there. I have not tried that pick. I definitely should probably pick that up. Jim, yes, you did, but we have one bottle left to give away, which is this one. But if you haven't put your lottery ticket in, then it's already two left in a way. So, but yeah, really excited for my trip down to Texas. Also, we'll be doing some other places on the way. Maybe you'll see some other videos coming out of whiskey-related content. I probably will try to do like a whiskey video in a state, see what whiskeys they have at that Costco, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, let's give away this old Rip 10. So I'm going to share my screen here, like so. So I wish you all the best of luck, folks. Here we go. Let's spin the wheel. It would be nice if it was someone that I'm familiar with. I don't know if I recognize any of the names tonight, but all is well. 788. 788 is going to be... Good luck, everyone. Mark Dean from Lynn Haven. Mark Dean from Lynn Haven. Congratulations. You won this bottle of Old Rip 10. Mark Dean from Lynn Haven. 788. Well done, my man. I think you'll enjoy this. And you'll probably enjoy it more than I do. And it's not to say that I don't like the whiskey. I do enjoy it very much, but it's awesome to get a bottle like that in someone's hands. And as you can see, people from all around from the US, what do we have? I don't even know how many of these cities I recognize, but they're probably from different states. So really was able to share the love around the US. So that was the 10,000 subscriber giveaway. Maybe we'll do something at 20,000. We'll kind of see where that goes. But we always, like I said, at the beginning of the show, we always try to do something at the beginning. So do you have all the names wrote out? Can I take those, please? I'm just going to do a quick recap on the winners here tonight, just so everybody is able, who arrived late. So for this is a little bit unorganized, so I'll take a second. So it's 710. Is that the first one? Do you go from top to bottom?
I did not see this because I forgot last week's.
Oh, you forgot the name?
No, I forgot what I was supposed to be doing.
Oh, okay. So we have check out the Crowded Barrel Whiskey Company. Okay. This is very confusing. I'll be honest. This is like, I'm sure it makes sense to her, but yeah. Who's Mark Haven? So the winner of the Pappy Van Winkle, the winner of the All Rip Van Winkle 788 was Mark Dean from Lynn Haven. And then also from the winner of the Jack Daniel's sample was Chris Berger. The winner, Joseph Eccles, won something apparently. So it looks like I will be going through the live stream and finding out all the winners again here. Yeah. This is what I've been handed, just as an FYI. This is in no order whatsoever. It's just a mess. EH Taylor Small Bash was won by Mark Bush, so congratulations. The Booker's giveaway was Nathan Niezgorsky. Something else was won by someone else. The Smoke Wagon was Ryan Altma. The Bowman Caleb Reyes. The Penelope sample set was won by DPD 2K10. And then the rest of the information was provided by the live stream. So I appreciate you all coming tonight. Yeah, it looks like my wife's nuts. Yeah, I know. One job, right? One job indeed. But that was very nice for her to help out. Like I said, if you had your name pulled for one of the bottles, I will reach out to you. So, don't stress about that. I will reach out to the information you left. And then on top of that, if you want one of the samples, you're here watching tonight. So you're going to reach out to the whiskeycove@gmail.com. And then we'll do a couple of verifications there, make sure you are who you say you are, and then make sure that you are 21, and then we'll get those samples to you. So I will stay around for a little longer. Just if you have any questions, please post them in the comment section. We'll answer a few, and then we'll cut you loose here, folks. I don't want to go on too much more than this. I think we got the crux of what we wanted to do here. We talked a little bit about the future of the Whiskey Cove, some things coming up, and just really give a bit of a shout out to y'all at home as well. So thank you so much for being here tonight. Why is everything like 1910, 1920, 1925? It's like you're talking. She put everything like by the military clock, and it just looks like it's like 1910 is like Old Forester 1910, Old Forester 1920. That's not how I would have done it. I'll be honest. Well, I'm very thoughtful. I'm very thankful, I should say. Recommendation for starter Scotch from bourbon drinkers: Monkey Shoulder. I think that's a really good one. I think Monkey Shoulder is quite sweet. Also as well, Campfire by High West might be a good place to start if you're trying to get in peated whiskey, because it's a rye blended with a bourbon blended with a Isle Sky Scotch. So you're going to get the peatiness there too. And then you're also going to get like the rye spice and some bourbon there. So that's maybe a good place to spot too. Just got the short barrel bees knees. I haven't had any of the short barrels, but people keep raving about them too. So maybe if I find myself down, I think I've seen a lot of people say that a lot of them are down in Atlanta. So I'll have to try to see if I can pick up some when I'm there. Recent purchase that you really regret. So there was a whiskey recently that I did regret buying. It was called Batch House. It was like a local whiskey here, sourced from Kentucky. And it just, it was one of those times where you go into a store and a clerk will approach you and I ask if you need any help, and I'll say no. Although I do like to talk to people. And then they'll try to recommend you on something. I normally don't. As soon as someone recommends a whiskey, that is one whiskey that I'm not going to buy. But because the person said, well, it's sourced from Kentucky, but it's bottled here in the same city that you live. So I was like, okay, it's like $60. It can't be that bad. And I'm supporting someone local. It turns out it was that bad. Batch House 92. Not very good. I didn't like it. But it's still, at least I was supporting someone here local. All right, then, people, I really appreciate you all being here tonight. I am going to cut you all loose. Wonderful people. Thanks for joining us. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. I need to do more live streams. That's something that I want to do in my future. I love connecting with you people. So thank you so much for being here. Don't be a stranger. Like I said, join Patreon. That's free. Also at the same time as well, hit me up on any time you want to via my email if you want to try to connect. Come over to Facebook, look up the Rocky Mountain Whiskey Society. That is my Facebook group, or you can find me on Still Austin Whiskey Fans. So I appreciate that, folks. Thank you so much. Have a splendid evening. Be safe out there. And as we drink through the world's whiskeys, one glass at a time, cheers.